The Nile River Valley of Egypt. Location. The Nile River Valley is hundreds and hundreds of miles long and is located on the eastern side of Egypt. It is surrounded by many grassy, wood-like areas and has extremely fertile soil because of the minerals in the Nile. The citizens of ancient Egypt took advantage of this fertile soil and used it for farming, a huge part of the Egyptian economy. The Nile River Valley runs all the way through Egypt and splits off into the Blue Nile down in Sudan. So, in these ancient times, what did the citizens use to defend themselves? Well, the most popular weapon was by far the bow and arrow, which was a wooden stick with a thin wire attached to it, used to fling a small spear. This was used to fling at enemies in times of battle, or even to hunt small animals. Sometimes they would even ride horses as they charged with their enemies. Other weapons consisted of knives, swords, or even small spears. These were used to penetrate the skin of their enemies, harming their vital organs, causing bleeding out and leading to death. These were all very effective methods of defense in ancient times. So, how did Egyptians get around? What were their means of transportation? Surely there were no cars or vehicles back then. But the most popular mean of transportation is something we still do today, to just simply walk. They wore sandals to protect against rough particles or rocks in the sand. Of course they were not the most comfortable, but they did the job. But sometimes distance was too great, or you had to cross a body of water. What would you do then? Ferries were used to cross oceans and seas, such as the Mediterranean. Or to get from city to city, they would even ride in a carriage pulled by a horse. Culture. Egyptians were highly involved in their culture and had a very interesting way of life. Architecture in ancient Egypt contained many pyramids and the popular Sphinx. Pyramids were used as the tombs of their lost pharaohs and leaders. They are considered to be extremely holy, and when messed with, criminal action would be taken. They have always been a trademark of the Egyptian life. When you think of Egypt, your mind automatically goes to the mighty pyramids. Art was also considered to be a huge part of the Egyptian lifestyle. Many times, the characters in paintings were drawn a certain size, depending on their social class. Pharaohs and gods were drawn significantly larger than a slave or a farmer, perhaps. Their paintings depicted many gods and goddesses as a sign of gratitude and respect to them. The main religion of ancient Egypt was polytheism, so the main focus was to keep their gods happy. If they were happy, everyone was happy, so they would often draw them in paintings to bring joy and respect. The gods were extremely powerful to them, and the citizens believed if they were not kept happy, they would do extreme harm and disaster to the valley. Laws were something that were strictly enforced in ancient times, often leading to misfortune to criminals and their families. The leader Ma'at wanted balance, order, and justice in the Egyptian legal system, and he was a huge influence. But even with his guidance, the families of criminals were often punished as well, even though they were not the ones doing the crimes. The Egyptians had a very unique language and literature structure. They often wrote their messages and books on various walls, murals, or even stones. It's truly amazing how their whole sense of communication was through this way. Trading was also a very important of their life, especially with the Silk Road used as a major trading route between Africa, Asia, and Europe. They would trade with neighboring countries through this road, and they traded linens, dried fish, rope, and even gold, which was their most precious good. Trading was one of the foundations of the Egyptian economy, along with agricultural farming. The Egyptians had a very interesting but amazing lifestyle. They had an extreme sense of culture and had a very unique civilization, from architecture to agricultural farming. Thank you for watching and learning about the Nile River Valley of Egypt with me. Have a great day.